My name is Laura Peters. I'm from a small town in rural Alabama. I attended two different schools. I started at a Catholic private school known as the University of Dallas, went there for 3 years, and then finished my education at the University of Alabama. Not until I transferred to Alabama. When I arrived on campus, I got to know Dr. Michael New and became extremely involved with the group there on campus. It started out with agreeing to organize Alabama's first statewide conference, and shortly after that I ended up interning here at Students for Life in the summer of 2009. That launched me directly into becoming statewide leader of Alabama Students for Life, and then less than a year after that I ended up landing a job at Priests for Life in New York City. And honestly, SFLA's listserv emails, from the very first moment that I ended up on their listserv, I just knew that this organization, in a sense, was where it was at. I was really impressed by their expertise in networking and connecting all of the various aspects of the movement and bringing all of that information and resources to the fingertips of the students in a way that makes it very accessible for them to know how to implement those resources and incorporate them into the lifestyle on their campus. And so I was just so drawn to their approach that it just appealed to me. I just knew I had to go. To make a long story short, David B. Wright, I remember, was the keynote speaker in January of 2009, the first year that I attended, and I distinctly remember being extremely struck by his life story. He told his bio, described how he got involved in the movement, and then ended up founding 40 Days for Life. And the thing that struck me the most was, up until that point in time, I had never been exposed just to the concept of abortion as a modern-day Holocaust. And I was especially struck by the spiritual context that he put the movement in particular when he stated his own personal belief that he feels very strongly that everyone who has ever given any of their time, talent, or treasure to the pro-life movement, when they die and stand before God, all those people are going to hear, "Well done, my good and faithful servants." And at that moment, that was literally a transformational moment in my life. The very next thought that flashed through my head was the image of myself standing before God on my own day of judgment, and I was imagining myself having to come up with an excuse as to why I had been too busy to get involved. I've described the SFLA National Conference before as the equivalent of one-stop shopping for all aspects of the pro-life movement. It's amazing and overwhelming, the number of organizations that are represented there. The booths fill 3 levels of a conference venue. Every single organization you could possibly imagine, all with completely different missions, just encompassing all the various aspects of the movement. They're all represented there, every single one. And in addition to that, they have an absolutely packed agenda. There's literally, at the end of the day, you could not say there's a single issue that you didn't have the opportunity to learn about. Absolutely. It's a must for any student seeking to basically, as I've said before, catapult his or her activism to the next level. You go in with enthusiasm, but you're naive, you're inexperienced, you really have absolutely no idea how to implement your ideas and your passion and turn them into activism. And all of the resources and information and educational seminars available at this event, they all teach you how to go about doing that and turn your passion into reality.
We are in desperation. We need to reach this genuine.